have yet another mission, as it seems dead. This is not the America I know and love. We're better than this. Joining our discussion now, Captain Sullenberg. This really is an honor to have you here. I greatly appreciate you joining us here on this election special coverage. What moved you to write this op-ed piece?
How could I not? I felt an intense obligation to act, not just to watch, to put my voice out there, to vote, to try to make a difference. I think that's an obligation each of us has in this critical time. We can't just yell at the TV. We have to do something. We have to vote.
You say in the piece that for most of your life you were a registered Republican.
Yes.
But you always voted as an American.
Absolutely.
What does voting as an American mean to you now?
It means not in a partisan fashion, but in a fashion according to our values, in a fashion according to the threat that we're facing. This is not normal. What is happening in this country is not normal. My original title for the op-ed was Mayday, 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 which of course is the international signal for distress about a grave and imminent threat that requires immediate assistance. I'm as concerned about the state of this nation as I have been in a half century since the turbulent year of 1968. And in some ways, even before that, it's reminiscent in some ways of Friday, November 22nd, 1963, and October 1962. I learned from my father, a naval officer in World War II, and in my military service, the responsibilities, the awesome responsibilities of command, that with great authority comes great responsibility. I learned that a leader leads from the front. The leader should be the first to face the threat and the last to safety, not the reverse. A leader leads by example, according to core values that frame one's decisions, that serve as guardrails to prevent ourselves and our organizations from making egregious errors. A leader leads with respect. In an environment of mutual respect, where respect must be earned. But most important, a leader helps everyone serve a cause greater than themselves. It can't just be inwardly focused. Right now, that's not happening. This is one of the greatest threats this nation has faced in my lifetime.
The things you just cited historically by date were the Cuban Missile Crisis, the assassination of President Kennedy, 1968, which saw the assassination of Bobby Kennedy, assassination of Martin Luther King.
The height of the Vietnam War.
Yeah, height of the Vietnam War, 16,000 dead in Vietnam that year, American soldiers. As the darkest experiences of your lifetime and mine.
And we can all remember where we were when we first heard about them.
And you're comparing this period to that kind of darkness.
That is the threat that we face. And people who know me or have heard me or seen me know that I do not exaggerate. I don't need to.
I want you to listen to some people like you who have been, in their case, lifelong Republicans, actively working in the Republican Party to elect Republican presidents and other Republican candidates, and see if you share some of their feelings. Let's listen to this.
The party of Trump must be destroyed politically.
I am urging everybody to vote straight ticket Democratic in November because I think it is imperative to get some checks and balances.
I left the party about 5 weeks ago. I think Democrats should take the House.
Right.
I think we'll be safer in a divided government.
I think it's really important that Democrats take over the House and or the Senate. I think that any White House is improved by having a check and a balance. This White House more than any other.
And those are people, Nicole Wallace, Steve Schmidt, who tried to elect John McCain president. They've all worked for the election of Republican presidents prior to Donald Trump getting that nomination. When you hear those people talking, are they speaking to you? Is that your experience as a voter?
They're speaking with me.
With you.
That is my experience. Right now, the majority party in the House and the Senate are not fulfilling their oath of office. They are not acting as a check and balance. We must replace them with those who will.
There's another line that you have in your piece where you say, all leaders must take responsibility and have moral compass grounded in competence, integrity, and concern for the greater good. The moral compass seems to be absent. I can't find it when I look at the Republican leadership in Washington now.
If it is there, they're not listening to it. They're not looking at it.
What do you think, if you could have a moment with the President of the United States, if you could have a minute with him, what would you want to tell him about the way he does his job?
I don't think he's either capable or willing to change. I think he is remarkably incurious and doesn't value learning. Instead of talking to the current occupant of that office, I'm talking to the American people. I'm saying, you are the ultimate check and balance. It is up to us. As I said in my piece, we cannot wait for someone to rescue us. We must do it ourselves. Everyone, everywhere, must vote in massive numbers.
Your op-ed piece came out after the mass murder in the synagogue in Pittsburgh a week ago today. Did that have an effect on your sense of urgency about this?
Yes, I had written this piece in its early forms a month ago. I've been providing it, trying to shorten it since then. But yes, this is even more of a crisis than it was when I began writing the piece.
The way we see the president campaigning tonight, I as I said earlier in the show, I can't find something he said that's actually honest on the campaign trail that is truthful, that isn't just utterly false. And so I don't want to present what he's actually saying. And there are people who see that as one-sided, as if and my approach to it is I'm trying to present what we do here on the side of the truth, and that seems to be a new challenge that the likes of which we've never had, and also for voters to sort out truth. It has become much more of a challenge than it used to be.
And that's one of my great concerns. And that's why I compared it to these historic events. We're not facing a nuclear annihilation at the moment, but we're facing a more pernicious challenge. This breakdown of the fabric of our society and our willingness to even agree on the same facts.
And going forward, you intend, I know you don't want to get into specific candidates, but your suggestion to people is you should be voting against the Republican control that now controls all of Washington.
Yes. As a former Republican, I've already voted, and I voted for Democrats.
And how uncomfortable is this for you? You've lived your life without being public politically. Most people do. Most people go their entire lifetimes without making a public political statement. And for people who have to do it the first time, I've always noticed that it is uncomfortable and awkward, to put it mildly.
Not at all. It's freeing. It's necessary. It's useful. It is my duty.
Would you be able to sit back and watch this process and watch this election process without responding to that sense of duty? A lot of people do. A lot of people feel the way you feel, but they don't feel they have a duty to speak publicly.
I could not let my silence or civility connote acquiescence.
When we get past this election, do you expect to continue to have a political voice, to continue to raise your voice at certain points politically, or have you even felt your way through what that's going to be like?
I'll let you know after Tuesday.
Okay. We will hear from you when we hear from you on this. Captain Sullenberger, I can't tell you, this is really one of the great honors in the history of this show to have you at this table. I really appreciate you coming in tonight.
Thank you, Lawrence.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Thanks for chatting.